it's Vance here from Aussie Playground and welcome to my review of the Tech One Hobby Neptune. Now this guy comes with a 40 amp ESC, runs on a fairly standard size 2200 3-cell and has a 64mm EDF fan right here on the back. It also spans about 1230mm. Now the box it came in is this guy right here. As you can see, it's available in a red and a blue, and it came to me from Banggood. Now putting this guy together is pretty simple, although everything does glue together. The instructions provided are actually very, very good and have plenty of illustrations and step-by-step instructions on how to set it all up. So it even has CG information, so very, very cool. That is pretty much all there is to talk about as far as the unboxing and putting it together. Give yourself about 45 minutes to an hour, which also includes kind of the binding and setting everything up, and you should be pretty much ready to go. Speaking of which, cue Maiden Flight. Whoa, there we go. Alright, let's give it full throttle here. That is sweet. Roll. That is very cool. What a cool wing. Oh wow, what a cool wing. Throttle off here. Seems to be crabbing. Wants to go to the left. With the wind, full throttle. Still at full throttle. And now against the wind. Wow. Alright, high rate roll. Nice. Back to mid rates. Let's cruise her in. Let's see how she glides. Throttle off, into the wind. It launched so effortlessly. Alright, still wants to dip on a glide. On the throttle it seems okay. Alright, low pass. Just avoiding that post. Oh wow, this thing is sweet. So cool, so smooth and quiet. I like it. Maiden Flight, going all out here with the wing. I don't have a low voltage alarm in there, and I have my timer set to 7 minutes. Whoa. So I'm hoping that the battery's not too flat or doesn't get too fast, too flat too quick. Let's do a bit of a loop. That is nice. Nice and high. Coming back down again. One last fast pass before we come in for a landing. Man, this thing is nice. So nice. Alright, easing off the throttle here. Bringing it around. Throttle off. How is it going to go for landing? Does glide a bit. Real nice and smooth. There we go. Very good. Let's go get it. Okay, so as you saw, I was pretty impressed with the flight characteristics of this wing. It's very smooth in the air, very slick. And of course the big control surfaces that it has allows it to kind of roll fairly quickly when you got 100% rates and 100% throws. But my testing for this wing was not done. I wanted to take it out on some different conditions with a bit stronger winds and see how it performs. So, cue the next flight. Okay, so today we're going to be flying the Neptune on a windy day. As you can tell, it is actually quite windy. It's a bit grey. It's been raining the last few days, and only this afternoon did the weather kind of clear up a bit. So I figured, why not try out this wing and see how it performs on windy conditions. So I've kind of had a little bit of a quick flight just to trim it out, make sure everything's working well. We are still running on 3S, old stock. So let's put her in the air and see what happens. Hopefully nothing bad. You do need to sort of throw it, but it launches quite effortlessly, which I really like. It's not a bad wing to throw up in the air at all. As you can see, it's probably going to get kicked around a little bit. There is a lot of wing area there, so let's see how slow we can go here. Oh, look at that. It's basically parked up there, nose into the wind. That's nice. That is nice. I like that. Just sitting up there. That's cool. Alright, let's turn her over, bring it back down, full speed with the wind. I really like this wing. Alright, let's go in for a nice slow low pass. Nose into the wind here, cruising along. Full throttle. Man, I love this thing. I love the sound of it. I love the way it flies. Such a nice wing. Why didn't I get this earlier? It's been around for a while. I should have got this way earlier. That was cool. Nice and close. Beautiful. Come on, come on. There you go. I'm in mid rates. I'll flick it over to high rates actually. And I'll do another roll on high rates. For such a big wing, it actually feels quite agile up there. There you go, high rate roll at 100%. Now I feel like I've given it too much nose down. Or is it just because I had throttle off? Yeah, I think it was because I had just had a little bit of throttle off. That's the other thing. Throttle on, flies really nice and straight. Throttle off, you got to pull up. And I did set my ESC to stop too. So before the fan was kind of free spinning when you cut throttle. Now I've made it stop with the hope that it actually slows the aeroplane down a little bit when coming in for landing. A couple more rolls there. I think this handles the wind just fine. I think you could even handle it a bit stronger than this. Very nice airframe. Look at that. I love this wing. I really love this wing. Cut throttle, let it drop. Let's see if we can land it, eh? Hopefully not too far away from us. Oh, that was a nice short landing. Beautiful. So as you saw, the Neptune handled those windy conditions quite well. With the large wing surface that it has, once you point the nose into the wind, it can actually glide for some time. And I would imagine that it would make an excellent slope soarer for those of you who like to go out there and catch some updrafts. Now there are a couple of little niggly things that I didn't like about this wing. One of them being in the flight characteristics. Every time I would cut throttle, the nose would dip. So I didn't like that because it would fly perfectly straight on throttle. As soon as I cut it, the nose would start to point towards the ground. So I ended up putting a mix on my elevons, so when I cut my throttle, the elevons come up. I think I lifted it about 2 or 3%, and now it glides perfectly straight regardless of whether I'm on throttle or off throttle. So that's something to keep in mind there. Now, as I said, the wing did come with a 40 amp ESC, but I wanted to give it a little bit more power, and in order to do that, I had to upgrade my ESC to 50 amp, and now I can run it on 4S. Of course, you are going to see this thing flying on 4S, which will be the final flight of the video here. But before we get to that, I do want to point out a couple of things regarding the battery compartment. So I'm going to pick it up here, and I'm going to show you the battery compartment here. It has a very nice strong magnet on the back. And as you can see, the battery compartment is actually oval. And of course, I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up of this very soon. But what I wanted to do was give a little bit more room for my battery and the rest of the components in here to kind of have a little bit more breathing space. So in order to do that, I trimmed the walls on either side just enough to recess my ESC and push it back a little bit, and also bring my receiver this way a little bit. And this now allows me to run my 4S packs in here. And you know, there's a little bit more room, which is something that I appreciate because of course allows more airflow to kind of go through here. So it keeps everything nice and cool. So this could be a nice, neat little mod that you could do. Just an X-Acto knife, be very gentle, very careful, just straighten out these walls, and then you can push your components to either side, giving you a little bit more breathing space there. That's really the only gripe I have regarding the battery compartment. I do wish that this canopy was plastic though. I do fear that, you know, with no plastic nose cone or anything like that on here, if you do happen to have a bit of a rough landing, this canopy is probably going to be completely destroyed or bent out of shape. On the underside as well, there's no skid plate or anything that they provide for this section here that actually hits the ground. So I'm probably going to have to put maybe some leftover Lex sand that I've got from one of my RC cars, or maybe put some extra tape on here just to protect it a little bit, because it's starting to get a bit grubby now and a bit, well, it's not white anymore, let's just put it that way. It would have also been nice if they provided us with some tape or some glue to kind of hide and kind of keep all these wires away from basically falling out of the wing. So you do have to provide all of that yourself. Decals are pre-applied, and as I said, you do need to give yourself about 45 minutes to an hour to put this guy together because everything glues into place. Aside from that, very, very cool wing to fly, very slick, quite fast, and although it's not lacking power on 3S, I did sort of noticed that it was missing a little bit of extra vertical, and well, I feel that it can handle a bit of extra speed, so that's why I decided to upgrade it to 4S. I really don't have any major complaints about this wing. It flies beautifully, it's very smooth, very slick, and quite fast, as I said. So that is it for this review of the Tech One Hobby Neptune. Please be sure to check out the video description for a link to where you can get one of these from Banggood, as well as a link to my Facebook page, which of course will always keep you a couple of steps ahead of what goes on here on the channel. That is it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up if of course you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll be speaking to you all next time. Alright, so today we're going to be taking up the Neptune on 4S. I've upgraded my ESC to a 50 amp. I'm running a Max Amps 2250 milliamp 4S battery in there, and we're going to see how this guy performs on 4S. So turning my timer on, variable controls, we have throttle, we're in mid rates. Let's get her in the air. Whoa. Might need a little bit of up trim. Yeah, it needs a little bit of up trim because of the extra nose weight. Not a lot though. Alright, let's see how this goes on 4S. Oof, it's got some speed. Still doesn't have that crazy vertical that you normally get with a prop, but it definitely has a little bit more gusto. Yeah, this is moving. I think it's deceiving because it's so quiet. I can't judge how fast it actually is, but it's definitely faster.
4 minutes.
Let's go again, full throttle. This is nice. I hope that motor holds out. I hope I don't cook the motor or anything. I'm just easing off the power a little bit. We're going to cruise around, probably about half throttle here. Just cruising by. Very, very nice. A little overcast today, but sun's peeking through, and there's no wind. I mean, it's beautiful. Perfect day for a flight. Giving it the beans as it goes past. Flick it over to high rates. Nice. Coming by again. Let's go left this time. Man, it can take the speed. I do like it. Man, this thing is nice. This is probably my favorite wing out of the box by far. Wow, that actually went up for quite a while. I'm going to flip back over to mid rates. I keep forgetting to put more expo in my high rates. It's a little touchy on high rates.
2 minutes.
Alright, a couple more full throttle passes. Easing off around the bend and floor it. That is zooming. That is really zooming. I like this setup. Really like this setup. It's funny, only the max amps will actually fit in that battery compartment. My other 2200s, because I got some Turnigy heavy duty packs, they don't fit. They're too big, too bulky. But somehow max amps managed to get this one quite small, or get their battery quite small, so it fits in there just. Alright, so we can pretty much land whichever way we want, but I'm going to go loop around here. I'm going to go over the trees, and we're going to try and land it towards us, since our timer's down to a minute or so. Alright, so I'm going to cut power. And let's see if we can do this. Ooh, wind's actually coming from in front. Just perfect landing. Perfect landing. Alright, just as I was landing, there was a bit of a breeze right in front of us, but nonetheless, there we are. Neptune on 4S. Motor survived, and so did the battery. So over here we have our max amps. Can't really see it because I've got some Velcro on there from using it on some other planes. We've got a 50 amp PSC, and we've got our receiver in here. Now I did cut out these sections to try and make everything fit, and it only just fits, so it works well. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.